Hi folks, so this is day 3 and I'm now in the Findhorn Valley, so I'm here for Mountain Hare. Now I've parked at the end of the road, there's a small car park, and then there's a relatively sort of level track that heads across the open glen and over a small footbridge, and then you're into the valley. So depending on the wind direction decides on which side of the valley you want to be sort of heading up. Now at the moment the wind's coming from the east, and so it's actually coming from that direction that way, and so the mountain hare, they like to get onto the lee side of a hill just to help them stay that bit warmer. And so what I've done is chosen this side, so I'm going up the right hand side from the bottom, and luckily I've already spotted my first hare, so it's not far away actually. And so I just thought I'd do this little piece to camera just now, and then start to make my way up the pretty steep hill from now on. And so it's going to be pretty slow going for me, what with all this heavy lug of equipment, and hopefully I'll be able to approach it you know, with relative ease. So what I will do is set my camera up a little bit lower down the hill from where it actually is, ditch the camera bag, and then just carry my camera and the tripod as I get closer to it. Now I've got a 600mm on, so I don't need to get ridiculously close, and what I'll tend to do is as I'm approaching it, 100 yards perhaps, set the camera down, get a few shots, move a little closer, camera down, a few shots. That way you're not trying to get straight up to it and get that very close shot straight away, because if you did that and it doesn't want you there, it's not happy with your presence and off it goes, then you've kind of lost everything. So it's a good idea just to stage it in terms of getting shots, and of course that gives you a variety of shots to work with in post-production once you're back at the computer. Okay, so I'll get myself all prepped up, everything on my back again, and off we go. So the hare is quite prominent actually, I can see it with my naked eye, and so it's just there, just to the left of that patch of snow. So I've got a zigzag climb. There's a bit of a roadway heading up further into the valley, so I've got to climb up onto that, and that'll give me a great vantage point to then start to get close to that hare. And where there's one, there's quite often the chance of more, so I'll give the hill a quick scan. And this is the valley looking up the valley, and that's an absolute beautiful place to be. It's barren, a bit of a ecological desert, as most of these hills are, but we're not alone. There are a couple of walkers just at the bottom. Where are they? Just above that, just across there, so it's quite likely that they're after here as well. There was a few cars in the car park, so clearly a busy place to come to. It's very remote and very isolated, so I want to make sure that I look after myself, because anything happens to me, I've got a long wait for any kind of backup. But hopefully nothing will go wrong. So that hare's sitting quite tight, still there, I can still see it, so I'll start to make my way up. Ooh, yeah, that's slippy. It's really strange how on a mountain that's had snow you get pockets that just seem to last for months after everything else has cleared away. And part of the reason for that seems to be that it gets compacted and dirty. It can be pretty treacherous. So we're heading up, and then the road goes off to the left here, and slow going. The thing that the hare is doing is simply sleeping, resting, and trying to keep out of the view of golden eagle and probably photographers, to be honest. But because they're just going to sit there, it means there's no rush to what we're doing. So across the other side of the valley there's a group of 6 photographers, all carrying big lenses and lots of kit, and it looks like they've decided to come back down that side of the hill, and then perhaps they've seen me and realised I've got a hare here. And sometimes that can create a bit of a problem. If you get large groups of photographers all trying to approach a particular animal, that can really stress it out, and that's it certainly can be a problem. It's all based on the behaviour of the individuals, of course, but it feels a bit strange to be in such a remote place and yet there's so many people. But, better if something happens to me, of course, at least somebody might find me. And so I'm probably about 20 metres off this hare at the moment. It's sitting there and motionless, with its eye totally fixed on me. Now, how I've been approaching it is to do it diagonally, and it's so sure of its camouflage that it's not wanting to give up its position too readily. It wants to conserve energy and sit there, and I want it to do that as well. And so from now on it's just a case of slowly, again diagonally, just moving a few metres at a time, and just allowing the animal to get a little bit of confidence in thinking that I'm not a threat, that I'm not intending to hurt it, because one of the worst things to do is to walk straight at the hare. That gives it the understanding that you've got bad intentions and you're heading straight for it, and that'll be it. It'll bolt and then it'll run extremely quickly uphill, and as a photographer, that's your day done, and of course you've upset the animal and you've not got the shots. And so doing it properly is always, it's a win-win. So the hare is just on the ridge line, so just under my microphone, so it's just about there, and probably about only 10 metres away. And I say it's that confident in its camouflage, and we've approached it correctly. It's still there. Just wait a while. I've switched the camera off, and it's focused on the hare, but it's really cautious. It's only about 10 metres away, and if I give it some time, then hopefully it'll just get a little bit more comfortable. Perhaps its ears will come up and get a little bit of movement. But, as I say, the thing with these sorts of animals is just to do everything slowly. As I say, any other animal, and I mean in this kind of I mean, it's really difficult to actually get over this heather, particularly with gear like I'm lugging around. And so, I'd say any other animal would have probably taken to its heels a long time ago, but you know, this is a survival strategy of the mountain hare, is just to simply hunker down, you know, and keep the movement to a minimum, because you know that's the real predator, is not us, it's the golden eagle. That's what it's designed you know, to try and survive. Now unfortunately, obviously we know that the amount of snow we get each year is reducing dramatically. There's a fair bit of snow further up that you know, what it's done, it's come down off the snow line and then just found a nice little place to keep out of the wind. But the fact that it's in its white coat means that eagles can pick them off pretty easily now. And so keeping still and just resembling as much of it as it can as a piece of snow or a rock is its best strategy. So that was me, the walk up. The car park is on the other side of this little wooded area, and there's a path that goes along the other side to a bridge just over the burn that's coming down the valley, and then there's a couple of paths that sort of work their way up, as you can see, just this one. So this is the one I started on, that one, and then joined this one to then come up and be with the hare. And I've left my camera gear, I think it's down there. Well, that's where the camera bag is. But it certainly is a beautiful yet remote valley. And I've heard a few red grouse as well, so there's clearly a few of those here. It always puzzles me when the abandoned house, which is just there, you know, thinking back that's perhaps, you know, abandoned 20 or 30 years ago, the state of it. At the time perhaps there was no there isn't any electricity pylons to it, so there's no obvious water course close to it, so anybody living there had a hard life. I just can't understand how they managed to do it. But there you go. So one other point is, as I mentioned earlier, if a mountain hare is disturbed, it will run uphill. Seems counterintuitive to us. You'd think that the fastest escape would be down. But the reason for this is because if a golden eagle is swooping down and misses the hare, or the hare sees it, then it'll run uphill, because the eagle will find it very difficult to suddenly turn and then fly uphill trying to catch the hare. And you know, also, I mean, they can run at like 35 miles per hour, I think it is. So you know, an eagle's got a hard job trying to fly uphill at that kind of pace, and so that's the hare's best option, is to run uphill. Now that means for us that it's a bad idea to try and get above the hare, because it will be aware that as you're then shutting off its escape route, that'll make it nervous, and is more likely just simply to start running, just to try and get above you. And same kind of behaviour as if you're an eagle or whatever, it wants to get above you. And so always approach uphill to a hare. Well, again, that was fantastic. At least a couple of hours sat there with it, but I mean, that thing just didn't want to move. The occasional twitch of its mouth and slight little move of its eye, and that was about your lot. It's a little bit disappointing that way. You like to get a little bit of movement. But I'm now back at the van and warmed up. I've had a couple of cups of coffee and given my lips a chance to warm up. Because, yeah, my lips and the finger ends of just one hand, actually. But I'm all right now. So, definitely, if you ever do decide to try and come and film the Mountain Hare here, then wrap up for the cold. I mean, I am, and you know, it's but it is pretty Baltic out there, and sitting there when you're just for a couple of hours not moving at all, it's no matter what you're wearing, it still seems to get to you. But yeah, definitely not a place to come in trainers. But yeah, that was a fantastic sort of first go at the Mountain Hare at Findhorn. And yeah, I'll definitely be back here. I mean, it's not too strenuous. You know, you've got a good hike out on the flat or relatively flat, and then you start to climb up either left or right. I say, you just have to take it steady. At the moment, there is snow on the hill, but it's not thick at all. It's not snow capped, so it made going, you know, fairly good. But yeah, what a fantastic experience. Well, thank you for watching, and bye for now.